Something that I want to share on here that we were talking about that I think is powerful that kind of ties this in is one of my fears that I had for a while was if people know I have money, they'll ask me for money. Right. And like you and I talked about this. Instead, I would much rather be, hey, I'm the guy that picks up the check. It's really funny, actually. I listened to 50 Cent's book. He put out a book called, I think it's called the Hustle Harder. But he talks about it. He's like, I love being the guy who picks up the check. He was like, I pick up the check for everybody. And like that like comes to mind. Like, I would rather be that guy that like, yeah, I pick up the check. Yeah, my family needs some money. Here you go. Like, go have some fun. I love taking you guys out to dinner. I love taking you guys on vacation. Right. I mean, you went on vacation. You said this a couple weeks ago. You went on vacation. You were like, you know what? We were going to go do just like something real chill. I'll let you tell the story.
Yeah, and that's a great point. As an executive, they got to see that it's what legacy are you leaving? Think about, for me, if your why isn't to be a blessing to others, that's a big reason for me. It's like, yeah, I want to be that multimillionaire, and I'm gonna get to that next level of success. But it's like, what a blessing to be able to help homeless and needy people, and to buy your son a truck when he needs a truck. Like, why wouldn't you? And I don't mean to spoil them. That's not at all what I'm saying, but just to say, right, son, you've gone to school, you've proven yourself, you've hold that, do it. And then just the other thing, right? Like, everybody's going through something. And to your point, we were going to go on a vacation. I said, well, we'll just go on a little vacation and let's not do nothing big. And then I was challenged, like, Daniel, you got the money. Why don't you just pay for everybody? And my old way of thinking would have been that scarcity mindset. Well, no, it's a lot of money. And it was, right? I mean, it's still some change, but to drop $5,000 on a family vacation and pay for everybody, and to just, God put in my heart, have fun, enjoy it. And I had a blast. And then it's funny because after I saw the prices the following weekend, right? Because it was 4th of July, I think the old Daniel would have been like, man, we should have just waited. But I was like, no, I would have paid double for those memories. And it's the memories that you make along the way that are priceless. And that's the real truth of success and wealth, right? The money is just a tool. The money is just a tool to open up the doors that God puts before us. It takes a price to buy that new car. It takes a price to buy this house we have. It takes a price. It takes money to build a studio. It takes money to go on vacation. And why worry about it if we don't have to? That should be the motivation. Is, on my way up to success, how many people can I lift up? Like I said, I got laughed at, but if I can make it easier for other people, and just this, the look of my son, right? My son had, it was, I gotta say, I gotta share this because it was funny. The best part of the memory of the vacation was we were out there, me, my future son-in-law, and my son. We're smoking a cigar, and I said, well, I just came back from Kentucky. Why don't you try a bourbon with your cigar? And it was funny because my son's never had a bourbon, and just to see him like take a drink of the bourbon and then he chokes. And I'm like, what are you doing? He goes, well, I don't know. I was like, no, you sip it, son. But just those memories are you're not going to forget that. And it's just, that's what it's about, is that those memories that you create.
That's awesome. I mean, that is the point, is that money is a tool. I love that you called that out, because that's really what it is. And people who stress about money all the time, like, don't stress about it, right? This is a growth curve that I've got to see you go through. I mean, I've gone through my own version of it, but it's like, instead of like worrying about it and stressing about it, like, money is infinite, and like, your money will come to you if you're doing the right thing. Like, if you put it out there that money comes to you, money will show up, right? You're doing the thing that brings money in. If instead you're worried about it and you're penny pinching and you're stressed about it all the time, you're going to get more of that. That's what the
Yes.
universe will continue to give you. And part of making money, and part of the joy of having money, is to spend it on things that you enjoy doing. To your point, not spoiling people, not blowing it on stupid stuff that makes no sense, but to actually spend it on things that you're going to enjoy. Why not? Why stress about it? Yeah, we're going to go on vacation. Let's go. Like,
I was reading a book on millionaires because I really like to study the millionaire mindset. And most millionaires don't enjoy their wealth. Over 50% of them don't enjoy their wealth because they stopped doing the very things that got them to that level of success. And then since they build up their nest egg, to a certain extent of a million, over a million, we'll just say, I think it was like 2.5 million. The fear sits in of losing it. And the very things that they were doing,
They
they
stop.
stopped doing it. And you know, if something stops growing, what's going to happen? It's going to go backwards.
Yeah, it dies.
And that's what happens. And they're not happy. And that's one affirmation that I want to share with your audience right now is, right? I say, I am enjoying the wealth I have. I am enjoying the millions I have. I am enjoying the life I have. And that's an affirmation I say to myself, because when that old Daniel wants to come in, when that old lack, right? Because those files are still in our brain. They're still deep, deep, deep down in there. And sometimes they get triggered, but when they want to pop out, nope, I am enjoying the millions of dollars I have. I am enjoying life. And you just got to keep telling yourself that. And the more you tell yourself that, the more, right? The more you feed that positive dog, the more that negative dog's going to be quiet. Or the more you feed that white wolf, that positive wolf, the more that black wolf's going to die away. So whatever you feed grows. So stop feeding the negativity, stop feeding that scarcity, that lack, and feed that positivity. And that's what I tell a lot of these executives, right? Stop feeding those memories of you growing up and being made fun of, and stop doing that, right? Because think about this. Many executives, to go back to your point, many executives, their problem is they still, even though they have that prominent position, they still have a lack mentality and they don't even realize it. You can be a millionaire and have a lack mentality. That's the truth. You can still have that position and have a scarcity mindset and not have an abundance increase mindset. And that's a big thing that I coach on, because they don't even realize it. Like, wow, I never thought about it that way. Do you have the money? Yeah. Well, then why do you give your wife a hard time? Take her to go get her nails done. Have her go shopping. Have her go treat herself. But it's things that a lot of executives, or even women, they do this, and they don't dress to the T like the way they should, or they've never bought themselves that nice Rolex, or they make the excuse, well, I don't need nothing nice, right? No, you inside you really, really do, but you've been conditioned to think like, no, because then that's going to make you evil if you have a nice car. And the rich people think they're wicked, they're mean. And even though they have some level of success, that's what limits them.
I mean, I know back in the, like, a long time ago, 10, 15 years ago, I kind of thought that way, right? I was always like, they're jerks, or they must have screwed somebody over or whatever. Like, somebody would roll into the restaurant, in their Ferrari. This was in Chicago. They drive their Ferrari to the restaurant. They come in with their hot girlfriend, and like they would get smashed. But that was like 1 out of 50. What I realized working there and then working in Vail, and then now I've just been around all of them. Like, they're my friends. They're usually the nicest people in the world. Like, they got there because they're smart. They're not pushovers by any means, but they're nice. They're kind. And like, they really want to help people. They really have a heart for people. And it's such a different, but it's, the movie set it up that way. Media sets it up that way. And internal, I mean, kind of our society does, right? Because they want to be in that victim mentality of, oh, it's not my fault. Well, it must be their fault. They're the ones who have the money, which is horrible. It makes me really sad. Are you looking to scale your business but trying to figure out how to get your message across? Well, go to storyselling.how to grab my free course that will show you how to discover everything that you need to build your business through stories. These stories work whether it's in social media, email, or public speaking. There are 5 core stories that you'll learn. You'll be able to use all of them by the time you're done with this course. Again, that is storyselling.how. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to tune in next time.